Banjo-Kazooie is one of the most notorious platformer games in history. Every level in the game has received a lot of fame for being extremely creative, unique, fun, and downright memorable. The level from the game I chose for this list combines those 4 elements and kicks them up to 11.
These go to 11.
What level is that, you may ask? That's right, none other than Click Clock Wood, the 9th and final level that can be accessed from Gruntilda's lair. This level is a giant forest with a huge tree in the middle of it, and what makes this level so great is its concept. Click Clock Wood revolves around the 4 seasons. You know, spring, summer, autumn, and winter. You can enter each of the different seasons and do various things that will alter how the world will turn out in the later seasons. It's like Back to the Future, except that your existence isn't at stake here, and there are no time-traveling DeLoreans, but you know what I'm saying. Events from the past that alter considerably the future. Definitely the most creative level in the game. But aside from the creativity behind this place, Click Clock Wood is just an incredibly memorable level in general. This level has some of the most fun jiggies you can get in the game. Jiggies that involve using the different stages for your advantage. And of course, because this level revolves around the 4 seasons, the music that plays in the level changes throughout the seasons. Starting with the upbeat spring theme, then going for the chill and mellow summer theme, the smooth autumn theme, and the pretty and peaceful winter theme. Only downside I can think of this level would be falling off the tree. But in the end, this is hands down my favorite level in the game. Probably my favorite level in the series. You can tell that the developers really worked hard to make this level great. And they succeeded. Because not only is this my favorite level in the game, but it is also the fan favorite level of all Banjo-Kazooie players. No, I mean it, seriously, that's what it says on the wiki. Hell yeah, the Sigma stages. And yes, I'm talking about all 4 of them. All these 4 stages combined make for a big, challenging, and damn awesome final level. In the first stage, you team up with Zero and take down the forces. Zero goes ahead and keeps them busy while you storm your way in, while listening to awesome music. Seriously, the Sigma Stage 1 theme is my favorite Mega Man song of all time. And so you begin climbing your way, jumping from helicopter platforms, and you finally enter the fortress, destroying all enemies in your way. Then you meet with Vile, just about to battle, before Zero shows up again and decided to confront him himself. And then this happens. Vile captures Zero and shows up in his armored carrier ready to finish you off. So you battle Vile, but much to your misfortune, he's way too powerful and leaves you on the edge of death. Before Zero jumps out and blows himself up to destroy the armored carrier, and you kick Vile's ass for good. But it's too late for Zero. Just before he dies, he gives you his trust. He knows you can defeat Sigma. Now, it's up to you to take down Sigma as Zero's dying wish. This scene, despite being short, is surprisingly pretty dramatic. Well, at least when you compare it to stuff like this.
What? What am I fighting for?
Now, with your motivation to the max, you ascend the fortress and have a second battle against Boomer Kuwanger, and the boss of the stage. This spider thing that attacks you with a Mario Party minigame, but you destroy it successfully. And that was only the beginning. In Sigma Stage 2, things start out simple, just building your way to the top and fighting against Chill Penguin. But then things get awesome when you ride a freaking armored carrier and destroy everything in your path, including other robots also riding armored carriers. You climb to the top and head outside to fight against Storm Eagle this time. And then the fight with the boss of the second stage, which is admittedly tough, yet a pretty creative battle. And after you win, you proceed to the third stage. In the third stage, you fight against the remaining Mavericks, Armored Armadillo, Sting Chameleon, Spark Mandrill, Launch Octopus, and Flame Mammoth. And for each Maverick you defeat, you get to advance in the intricate level. I know some people don't like repeating previously done sections in a video game, but I like fighting against the Mavericks again. Especially now that you know their weaknesses and can just blow them away. Or use the Hadouken on them. And then the battle against the boss of the third stage, Basically a giant mouth that can dislocate its jaws. Weird, but still, pretty cool. And after clearing that, you're ready for the final Sigma stage, which is nothing like the other 3 stages. And by that, I mean that this whole stage consists of climbing up the walls of the tower until you reach the top. It's like the classic final battle against the hero's arch-nemesis. The final showdown will be at the top, and the more you climb it, the more excitement you feel. This is it. All you've been through culminates here, in the final battle against Sigma. Now, the battle against Sigma is pretty tough. It's a whole 3 phases long, each harder than the last one. But no denying that it is awesome. It's a challenging and climatic final battle. Just what I expected from Sigma. There's a lot to love about these final levels. Their climatic atmosphere, their challenge, their music, and their features. All that sum up to create my favorite Mega Man level. I love Portal. I admit, I didn't think much of it at first, but as I progressed through the game, it got better and better. And by test chamber number 18, I realized that it was a fantastic game. So when I entered the final test chamber, I couldn't help but to feel a bit of disappointment. I mean, come on, it's the final level of the game. You'd think they would give us something more exciting other than just an ordinary test room. But then, this happened.
Congratulations, the test is now over. All Aperture technologies remain safely operational up to 4,000 degrees Kelvin. Rest assured that there is absolutely no chance of a dangerous equipment malfunction prior to your victory incandescence. Thank you for participating in this Aperture Science computer-aided enrichment activity. Goodbye.
And the moment you get out of that lift, you begin the true final level of Portal, and the selling point of the game. You get to escape from the Aperture Science facility. The gigantic subterranean complex filled with halls, corridors, pistons, and turrets. In this final test, you must find your way out of the facility before GLaDOS kills you. No test objectives or buttons here. Just you, your portal gun, and the huge underground facility. Yay, more factory levels, and now you know what I'm saying. You start off the level by using your portals to reach places you'd never imagine. A perfect test for cleverness and intuition. And so you make your way across the place, jumping, riding on pistons, basically getting yourself in any place imaginable. Kinda reminds me of Ripley escaping from the Nostromo in Alien. You being all alone in a place full of machines with a foreboding atmosphere and a sense of imminent danger building up. It's so exciting. Also, note that this level has no music. All you hear are the sounds of the gears turning and your portal gun firing. That adds a whole lot of foreboding atmosphere to the place. You're all alone, but not entirely. Meanwhile, GLaDOS tries to, quote-unquote, talk some sense into you. First by attempting to make you realize what you're doing.
What are you doing? You haven't escaped, you know. You're not even going the right way. Hello, is anyone there?
Then by congratulating you.
Okay, the test is over now. You win. Go back to the recovery annex for your cake. It was a fun test, and we're all impressed at how much you won.
But as you progress through the level, GLaDOS begins to sound more condescending and disappointed.
Remember when the platform was sliding into the fire pit and I said goodbye, and you were like, and then I was off. We pretended we were going to murder you. That was great. You should have turned left before. It's funny, actually, when you think about it. Someday we'll remember this and laugh, and laugh, and laugh.
All her talking puts a lot of tension in the situation. It makes you think, should I keep going? But there's no turning back now. You have to keep going. And finally she begins to act really threatening. First by trapping you in a room of turrets. And once you escape the trap, GLaDOS becomes threatening for real.
This is your fault. It didn't have to be like this. I'm not kidding now. Turn back or I will kill you. I'm going to kill you. And all the cake is gone. You don't even care, do you?
She then attempts to kill you with a rocket turret, but using your cleverness, you use it for your advantage and get to the next part. Also, remember GLaDOS telling you about Android Hell earlier in the game?
The Enrichment Center once again reminds you that Android Hell is a real place where you will be sent at the first sign of defiance.
Guess what? It exists! She sends a bunch of turrets for you to take out, one by one with nothing but clever portal placing. Once the turrets are out, you jump and fling yourself from great heights into the final part of the level. And at long last, the final, incredibly tense but also pretty comedic battle against the evil artificial intelligence, GLaDOS.
You're not smart, you're not a scientist, you're not a doctor, you're not even a full-time employee. Where did your life go so wrong?
I love this level, I really do. It has an incredible atmosphere and plays out excellently. And after playing this level, that's when I decided that Portal was one of my favorite games of all time. Guys, this is a video about video game levels. Of course a level from a Mario game is bound to show up at some point. After all, the Mario games are the definitive platformer games. But question is, which level did I choose? After all, there are so many good choices. The classic levels from Super Mario 64, the unique and stylish levels from Super Mario Sunshine, and the creative and awesome looking levels from the Super Mario Galaxy games. But oddly enough, the level I chose for this list doesn't come from one of the platformer games.
Unacceptable!
Nope, it comes from one of the RPG games. That game is Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. And that level is the Palace of Shadows. The final level of the game. The level which the game has been building up to all this time. All the places you've been, all the enemies you fought, all the crystal stars you collected to open the Thousand-Year Door have led up to this. And I loved every second of it. The moment you start out this level, you know this place doesn't mess around. The atmosphere in here is absolutely dark, brooding, and foreboding, more so than any other Bowser level. Well, this is the lair of a 1,000-year-old demon after all. The enemies here, the strongest of the game. The hazards you encounter, there are many. The music here is a dark and somber version of the classic underground theme. Seriously, give it a listen. Yep, it's a menacing place, alright. But I love its atmosphere. And it has a really cool looking decoration too. Yes, I like indoor decorations, shut up. And you have so many ordeals in this place. From fighting tough enemies, fighting a second battle against the Dark Bones, and going into a maze. And after the maze you enter a very interesting part of the level. This part in particular has no music, not a sound, other than the fountains. It's so calm. Except for the fact that it's guarded by chain chomps.
Go!
There's a tower in the center of it all, but you can't go there yet. So you go through a long corridor with a room in the far end, where you meet with a familiar face. And so you fight against Hooktail's brother, Gloomtail. And needless to say, he ain't that easy. But defeating him is so satisfying. After the battle, you'll obtain a star key which you must take to the tower. And after gaining access to the tower by completing the puzzles outside, you finally enter it and... oh god, I love this part so much. Inside the tower there are 3 floors, a staircase, and several rooms. By placing the key in the pedestal, 8 locks appear. Where do you get the keys for these? By entering every single room and deciphering all the riddles they give you. These riddles might sound confusing and ominous, but they give you hints of what you have to do to solve these puzzles and obtain the keys. And the riddles they give you are so enigmatic and kind of poetic actually. And the puzzles themselves are pretty interesting too. I love this part, not just because I like puzzles in general, but because you get to use all of your partners in this to solve them. Definitely testing out all you've learned in the game. Oh, and in case it wasn't obvious enough, I love the atmosphere and the music in this place. It feels so eerie, so mysterious, like you're delving deeper and deeper into darkness and the unknown. and yet it feels so peaceful. It gives a sense of tranquility in the mind. I could stay here. Yes, I could stay here. Forever. Forever. But I have to finish the level on this list, which is already long enough. After you get all the keys and put them in the keyholes, this galaxy map thing starts moving, and the access to the final part of the level opens. And so you head on to finish the level, but not before having one final battle against the Shadow Sirens and Duplis. Yeah, freaking Duplis! Did I mention that this level has a lot of freaking battles? And after defeating the Shadow Sirens for one last time, you press forward to the final part of the level, the subfloors. In this part, while doing all those final puzzles and running across all those gears and mechanisms, the atmosphere becomes more ominous, like you're just about to face something big. At this point, the build-up for the finale is at its max. Kinda weird that I'm making a Mario game sound this dramatic, but I don't care. And finally, the end of the level. All that remains is the final battle against the big bad of the game, Sir Grodus. Finally face to face against the enemy who has been trying to destroy you for so long. But just when you think he's done for good, he regains strength and beats you up within an inch of your life. All you can do is fight back. But how will our heroes triumph over evil here? It's time for Deus Ex Machina! As one final battle before the real final boss, you fight against good old Bowser and his henchman, woman, Kami, to finally settle the score. Now this is one of the best battles in the game. It's fun, action-packed, climatic, plus, Fawful's minion likes this battle and so should you! Also, notice that between the battle against Grodus and Bowser, there are no breakpoints, no resting time. It's just one big continuous battle, a great way to end the level before the final battle. And at last, the grand finale, the three-phase long battle against the Shadow Queen, the demon of the Thousand-Year Door, who just possessed Princess Peach and is about to sink the world into darkness. But you sum up the strength in the darkest hour and seal the demon away for eternity. The perfect way to end such an adventure. This was just such a great level. It has all the things that any final level should have. A great build-up, a test for your skills and all you've learned throughout the game, awesome battles, great climatic atmosphere, a great build-up for the final battle, and a climatic and very memorable final battle. It's such a complete level that it might as well be my favorite video game level of all time! But it still can't beat my number one. A level that not only has all the features I like in a level, but it has something more. Number one in this list is a Zelda dungeon. The Legend of Zelda series has always been known for having great and memorable dungeons. So there's just so much to choose! From Ocarina of Time we have the haunting and atmospheric fan-favorite Forest Temple, and the dark and climatic Ganon's Castle. From Wind Waker we have the spelunky and complex Wind Temple and the also climatic Ganon's Tower. Twilight Princess has the cool and stylish Snow Peak ruins and the dark and eerie Palace of Twilight. And Skyward Sword has the fun and awesome Ancient Cistern and the incredibly puzzling Sky Keep. But the level I chose from the series is something different. Something that until this very day, no other Zelda game has been able to recreate. A creative, inventive, unique, and absolutely memorable level that not only has all the features I love in a video game level, but it also means a lot to me. My favorite video game level of all time is the Stone Tower Temple from Majora's Mask. And it has all the reasons to be so. The final level of the game, the longest level of the game, the most intricate and most creative level in the game. The Stone Tower is a colossal structure located in the Kana Canyon with a huge temple on top of it. To reach the temple, you must ascend the tower, guarded by rolling boulders and beamos, and use some block puzzles to reach new parts. These block puzzles involve using the Elegy of Emptiness to secure the switches and move on. Just on the outside of the temple, you must use the song one more time for all of Link's forms to gain access. Look at this place, it looks amazing! Its architecture looks so great and imposing. It gives a feeling that this isn't just an ordinary temple, This is the stuff of gods right here. And on the inside, it looks just as amazing. This level has probably my favorite architecture of any Zelda game. Also, listen to the music. This is one of the best songs in the Zelda series, period. It sounds so much like Zelda, yet it sounds like something you wouldn't normally hear in the series. It's a rather melancholic symphony, but it fits the level like you wouldn't believe. But enough of me praising the style and the music of the temple. Let's move on to the features. This level revolves around using all of Link's forms to overcome the trials and obstacles of this place. The perfect final challenge that requires using all of your skills. You have to use all of your combined powers to take down this temple. I love that. I think it was genius that they decided to do that as the final challenge. And so you use your forms to open a gate to a new part of the dungeon. After obtaining the needed key, you go through the next door, which is a water section. Not a problem for Sora Link. And so you swim to the bottom and activate a switch, which causes a chest to appear on the upside? There's no possible way to open that chest, so why did it appear upside down? All you can do is shrug it off and expect to find a solution later in the level. On the surface of a new part, you're introduced to these interesting mirror puzzles that involve using the mirror shield. These will come in handy later on. And some upside down doors. After activating another switch, another upside down chest appears. Those who played the game for the first time and didn't know what would happen would probably had a mind screw here. In the next room, you use your Goron form this time and your mirror shield to solve this next puzzle that consists of reflecting several beams of light to the block in the room. Beyond the door, there's a huge room with a lava floor. You use your Goron form to activate the switch and use the Deku form to ride on airstreams and get the obtained chest and enter the next room. In the following room, you have a battle with the Garo Master, one of the coolest mini-bosses in the game. And after you defeat him, he reveals you this information. And you obtain the light arrows. Now, think back at the information he told you. Now remember those upside down chests and doors. Wait, could that possibly mean? Yeah, this is the most infamous level in the game, and one of the most infamous levels in the Zelda series in general, because with the power of light arrows, you can flip the world upside down. And no, this isn't just a gravity game like in Limbo. You literally turn the world upside down. Everything looks so different now. If you look up, you see nothing but a black abyss. And if you look down, the endless sky. Another thing you notice immediately is that the music changed. It now has a strange and eerie sound at some parts of the song. Call me weird, but I could listen to that for hours. And of course, the Stone Tower Temple upside down has changed notably. If you don't watch your step, you could fall into the sky. And now that you can turn the world upside down whenever you want, you head on to complete the place. Remember that room full of water? It looks totally different upside down. And so, you fly all around the warped place, collecting the upside down chests that you previously couldn't get and obtaining some more chests. In the next room, you use some more world flipping and Goron walking to get your way across a room with lava on the ceiling. And in the following room, a lengthy block pushing puzzle that involves flipping the world upside down multiple times. Time consuming, yet clever. In the following room, you return to the big open space from earlier. But this time, you fly into the room with all the switches for your statues, and you proceed to leave the area to enter a new room with a corridor. And at the end of the corridor, there's a large room in which you fight. Holy crap, that thing is crazy! This mini-boss known as Gomez is arguably the best mini-boss in the game. A huge ghost that attacks you with a really powerful sickle, and has a shield of bats, which you must shoot with the light arrows in order to attack the troublesome ghoul. Now I know where Gears of War got inspiration for its final battle. After you take out Gomez, you finally obtain the boss key. Alright, time to slay down the beast of this place! But first, you must head back to the entrance of the temple and hookshot your way to the chest on the ceiling and go through the door. In the corridor, you fight against an Igor, and after defeating it, you'll obtain the Giant's Mask. What purpose does it have? You'll see very soon. And you head your way through the final gauntlet of the temple into the boss room. Here you see some kind of portal on the floor. And so you enter it and see the almighty boss of this dungeon. Or should I say, bosses? Meet Twin Mold, the boss of the Stone Tower Temple. While it isn't the final boss of the game, it is the boss of the final dungeon of the game. Two colossal worms that fly around trying to maul you to pieces. To defeat these two bosses, you must shoot either their heads or tails with light arrows until they go down. Or, if you obtain the Giant's Mask, turn into a giant and hack them with your sword. A duel of giants. Freaking awesome. I like this battle a lot. It doesn't have that many features, but it has a cool setting. Fighting against the Colossus in a vast, deserted arena. Wait, that sounds a lot like that one boss from Shadow of the... Stone Tower Temple, how many games did you inspire? And so you slay down the beasts, claim your prize, and free the last giant to save the world. All so rewarding. But the features of this place aren't the only reason why I like it so much. Part of it is its backstory. Now, the Stone Tower doesn't have any given backstory, it's just there. But there are a lot of interesting theories about this place. One suggests that it was built by the people of Termina as a place to praise the giants. Other theory says that there was a war between beliefs in Termina, between those who believed in the three goddesses of the Triforce and those who believed in the four giants. And that this tower was built as an insult to the goddesses, seeing how some of the blocks on the tower have the Triforce symbol located in a very... suggestive place. Also, the statue at the entrance of the temple has a finger on fire that is pointing towards the sky. Is it praising the giants or insulting the goddesses? Who knows? Other theory says that the place can be turned upside down by being shot with a light arrow because the light arrow contains the power of the goddesses. And if this tower was in fact built to praise the giants and insult the goddesses, then the goddesses were not very happy with this, so they turned the place upside down and let the people of Termina fall into the sky. And one last theory says that the Stone Tower is based on the Tower of Babel. For those who don't know, the Tower of Babel is a chapter in the Bible about an ancient civilization who built a city and a huge tower in the center of it in order to reach God. In the end of the story, God created the languages so the people could no longer speak the same language and the construction of the tower would stop. Maybe this also happened here in the Stone Tower Temple, but instead of the goddesses or the giants creating the different languages, they threw the people into the sky? I don't know. Nobody knows for sure the story behind this place, but the theories sure are very interesting. And the final thing I have to say about this place that cements it as my favorite video game level of all time are the memories it gives to me. I played this level for the first time at the age of 6. I was just getting into video games and I was looking for a new adventure. And I was blown away by this place. I didn't find it really frustrating. I enjoyed every second of this level. It was beautiful. It was great. I knew it would become my favorite level the moment I started playing it. Some things about this level bug me though. For example, when you turn the place upside down, does that mean the rest of the world turns upside down and all the people in Clocktown fall into the sky? Also, we clearly see Link falling into the sky when he first uses a light arrow. So how did he survive that? And finally, what is Twin Mold? Is it the guardian of the temple? And why do you fight it in another dimension? As a matter of fact, what's up with that dimension? Given that you fight Twin Mold when the place is turned upside down, does that mean that portal leads to the sky? Is that desert heaven? Is Twin Mold God?
Dude, no.
Okay, fine, jeez. To conclude, I love the Stone Tower Temple. I love its atmosphere. I love its style. I love its music. I love its features. I love the mystery behind it, and I just love this place as a whole. It's an incredibly inventive and memorable level that until this very day, no other Zelda game has been able to recreate. A Media Master. A Majora's Mask not only has my favorite video game level of all time, but it is also my favorite video game of all time. See you next time. Okay, now that I'm finally done with school and all related work, I have all the time I need to work on my next countdown.
A new area in the overworld was created for this game, and a couple of new
But wait! I don't have an idea for a new countdown. I don't have a topic. Seriously, I can't think of anything. I must find inspiration. I must find an idea for a new countdown, a new topic, anywhere. Any means necessary.
Well...
Ha-ha! The fun has been doubled! 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 Doubled!
I just got an idea.